daily account system. We want to provide a friendly use application to users in the community. So here we have two users in our main form GUI. One is a resident and another is the leasing office. If you click the leasing office, there is no register button because there's only one default leasing office account. So we don't need to register. Now we input the username and password for the leasing office. You can click Show to see the password you already input and hide it. After login, the leasing office homepage should show all of the users' information, including the ID, name, phone number, apartment number, and size of apartment. But now there's no user because we have not read the object file yet. So we can log out and click Read Object button. Now let's log in again to see the change. Here you can see there are 4 users in this system, and based on the users in the same apartment, the size of apartment is automatically calculated. Now we can register a new resident. There are some failure situations here. The first is if you input the username which is already existing and you click register, it turns out you cannot register. The second situation is that if the password does not match, you cannot register. And the third situation is that if any of the blank is empty, you cannot register because it is mandatory to provide full information for every user when they are trying to register. So now let's call it Alex. And the last situation is, in the apartment number, if you input a string which cannot be converted into an integer, it fails again. So after you input everything correctly, you can successfully register. Now let's input 222. It says register successful. Now let's log in again into the leasing office. Before there were only two residents in apartment 222, but now there are 3 because one new resident joined this apartment, who is Alex. The leasing office can send the bill to every single user, and this amount will be divided by the number of room numbers. For example, if the amount is 1,500 and it's a rent for October, when you send bill, sends successful. And because room 222 has 3 residents, each one of them should have the record of a rent bill with amount of 500. So let's log in Alex and see there are 500 bill in his account. And you can also see the details of this record. So this is the resident homepage. There are 3 blocks. One is and for my account today, there are several buttons for you to choose. Once you click Add Record, you can add a new record to your account, and there are several categories. There are income, individual expense, and share expense. So now let's try add a new income. Say if the amount is $50, and you can write a note, say sell a sofa. Click edit. It says add successful. Now if you click reset, all of the blank will be empty again. Now let's add another record, which is the individual expense. Say if the expense is a gasoline, and add it. If you want to add a share expense, now if you click add record, it cannot be added because currently you don't have any connections now. Now let's go back and see there are one income detail and a new individual expense. And we can click sort by amount. The amount will be sorted. Say if one of the record is wrong and I want to modify it, we can just simply click it and click modify. For example, let's change it to telephone bill and also change a note. And now you can see the details of this record is modified successfully. And you also can click delete a record to delete it. Now it is deleted successfully. So there are another function which is add a new connection. First of all, you can click search user. For example, I search another user who is Ning 1993, and at this time you are not actually added this user to your connection. You are actually sending an invitation to the user, and you're waiting the user to confirm your invitation. So now let's log in Ning Yang. So currently, this user has already had 3 connections, and in the invitation, Alex wants to add Ning Yang to his connection. So now once I accept it, I add Alex into my connection. And say now, if I want to So in the Alex account, if I want to share an expense, now we can do that because Alex has already had one connection, who is Ning Yang. So you can choose share expense, and here we can view all of the connections that Alex has already had. Say if we share an expense of $48, and if I click add record, it fails because I didn't click one of the connections yet. So now if I add it, the record should be $24.4, and you can check it because it is calculated based on the number of connections and yourself. So here in the main page, you can see your income today, expense today, and your balance. And you can also set your budget. Say if I set 500, it automatically calculates your use today by the percentage. Inside my profile button, you can edit your profile. Say if Alex should be Alex Mike, I can simply change the name here and confirm it. And once you do that, your profile will be modified. And in other users' connection, for example, Ning, the profile of Alex is also modified to Alex Mike. Now, let's show how to share expense between multiple people. Say if we travel to Orlando and the amount should be 200, and I travel to there with 3 connections. I can choose 3 of them and add it. So now the records for each one of them should be 50. And we can also log in another old user to check if the record is added successfully. Now we can see it. Okay, let's log in Ning again to see the monthly statement function. We have already talked about the other functions in the main page. So once you click View Monthly Statement, all of the records inside this month will be shown in the list. And there are several blank here and several radio buttons here. If you click Income Record, it will be filled. It will be refilled. Fine. Say if I want to see how many records have amount larger than 50. Once click search, only three of them will be shown. And in the search part, you don't need to enter every single blank. Some of them can be left empty. And also, you can search a record based on the date range. Say if I want to search one record between October 8th and October 9th. And click search. It can also be refined. So now let's talk about the category. If you select all of the records will be shown. But if you select part-time, for example, it will only show the records with category of part-time. And also you can search a keyword. For example, here we have several nodes here. And if we have some similar record, say if I search Suyaki, they are shown. Now you can click Export Statement to export your monthly statement into a text file. And once you do that, you can go to the file to find your monthly statement text file. And the file name is called Ning monthly statement. Once you open it, you can see your statement inside this text file. Once you click Generate Report, it goes to another GUI, and you can view your monthly income, daily income, monthly expense, and daily expense, and your monthly balance. Also, your top 3 income and top 3 expense will be shown based on the amount. Here we only have 2 income because we only have 2 income in this month, so it will show only 2. And the record will be ordered by the amount. Once you click export report, similarly, you can go to the file and find your monthly report. So this is all about the residence part. Now, if you click exit, before you exit this system, the system will automatically write all of the objects into the object file. So if you click it, and once you run this project again, and you read the object file. Before you read, you can try. If we type Alex, it says users not found. Now if you click it, it is there again. This user, it is Alex, which we just created several minutes ago. And that's it. Thanks for watching.